Hello! Why is the leaderboard off? Hello, everyone! And good morning, and welcome to the PreStream podcast for Thursday, the last day of March, the 31st, 2022. Hello, hello. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope that you're ready for some chill fun here today. The camera does not seem centered, right? It looks as if at some point I bonked it. It looks like it should look more like, more like that. That looks better. I think I did bonk it at some point. Well, on the fly changes are always available here on DSPGaming. How you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Sorry I'm a few minutes late starting the podcast. It begins. And what I mean by that is the work on my taxes begins already this morning. I had to do a bunch of stuff because tonight there's no late stream. Tonight I am working on my taxes. And so this morning I had to get a bunch of stuff already pre-ready and send emails and do all this stuff behind the scenes. But it's not just all a bunch of work. I actually got a fun new animation that has been added to the stream this morning as well. So we haven't had any new animations really since back in January when I added the ones for Skyrim, which were the ones with Jasper Kitty and also Fuzro dying trolls off a cliff and stuff like that. So we got a new one today. The way that this one works, I've changed it up. If you tip me $20 today or more, anywhere between $20 and $50, all right, in one go, you'll get a new animation that will play on the stream, and I will give you a little spoiler alert. The animation is Elden Ring related, and I really like it. I mean, considering the fact that Elden Ring is going to be an ongoing playthrough at least for another month or more, it just makes sense to have an Elden Ring animation, and this one's pretty neat. I definitely like it. So $20 or more tip, you will see the new animation here on today's stream. Now, keep in mind, if you do $50 or more, that's the next category, because I don't want someone to say, oh, here's a $50 tip, I want to see the new animation, and then you see the old one, okay? Now, we already had a $20 tip animation, so what I did is I scooted that over to the Super Chats side of things. This is the animation where Jasper Kitty, the Khajiit, is dancing on the pub countertop, and I'm saying, Jasper, get down from there, which is what I always say when Jasper jumps in front of my television when I'm playing games. That has been scooted over to a $25 super chat. Okay, at this point, we have so many categories of animations, it's very hard to keep track of what's what. I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head what's what. But anyway, there you go. At least now you know how it's working. $20 tip up to like $49 tip, you'll see the new animation. And then if you do a $25 super chat, I think it's like 25 to 40 or 25 to 30. I don't even know. But that's the Jasper animation. Okay. So anyway, that's what I was doing before I started the PreStream podcast today, which is why I was a few minutes late, and I apologize for that. So here's the deal. Today I'm only doing one stream, which is very abnormal, right? Usually I'm here all day long, every day, double streams, 2 major games covered. Because it's been such an insanely crazy busy gaming year early on, right? All month February and all month of March has literally been nonstop new game releases, and most of the games have been insanely lengthy. You know, just not even a week ago, I finished Horizon Forbidden West, and that was a 40-plus hour playthrough. I'm currently playing Elden Ring, which is already like 75, I want to say. 74-hour playthrough, there you go. Of course, I'm continuing on with my Skyrim playthrough, Skyrim Anniversary Edition, and that's already an 80-hour playthrough. So with all these insanely long games that I've been tackling, number one, I don't even have enough time to keep up with the playthroughs that you want. Like, people have been saying, well, when are you going to start WWE 2K22? I don't know yet. I'm so busy with the current games, and then other new games came out like Ghostwire Tokyo and Kirby, and I'm playing those. And then other people are like, well, you've been playing nonstop. Are you going to take a break anytime soon? How can I take a break when I'm already backlogged? And that's what I mean. Like, this week, I absolutely have to take a few streams off to work on my taxes. I don't like doing it. I wish that I didn't have to. You know, if I was filthy rich, what I would do is I would actually hand over all of that responsibility to somebody else. I would say, listen, I'll give you $5,000, right? Take all my financial data that from all year, and you crunch the numbers, and you send that stuff to my tax guy to file it and all of that. I'm not made of money. So even though I pay for a tax guy to do my taxes, I have to still get all the data for him and put it together in a coherent manner. I have to explain to him what happened. Like, for example, last year, you guys know, I left the Twitch Partner Program forcibly against my will, that resulted in a change of income coming from Twitch and then moving over to YouTube instead, and having more income coming from YouTube than Twitch, which is confusing. You have to, figure all that stuff out. So, with all that being said, that's a lot of work to do. I have to track all the income every month, all the expenses every month, every in and out, every explanation. I have to basically get all this data together. It takes a long time going through every month, every transaction, and figuring out what's what. So, yeah, it's going to take me a while. It is what it is, and my apologies. I wish I could still be here full-time all day, every day this week. I can't. It's just not possible, okay? So what that means is that today, what you're seeing right now is the stream. We got the PreStream podcast, and then after that, a nice major stream of Elden Ring. So what are we doing in Elden Ring today? Well, last time around, we finished up the Shaded Castle, was it called? The Shaded Castle? I think it was, no, the Shadow Castle. Something like that. And it was an optional legacy dungeon. It was fun, but I was very disappointed with the boss. Because I had already fought him. And one thing that I'm seeing that it's actually starting to really disappoint me in Elden Ring now that we're 70-some hours in, is that the game is reusing so many assets that almost nothing feels original. Like, I had done this giant, cool, unique boss fight 2 streams ago, right? Last stream, there's a different version of that dragon. I was like, wait, I just fought a cool, unique dragon. Not even one stream later, it's back, only it looks slightly different. Like, what is this? Yeah, I really don't like them reusing the assets so much. How is it I go through a cool legacy dungeon, right? Oh, this is neat. It's optional. There's cool stuff in here. Get to the end. Boss, you already fought somewhere else. Come on, man. It's frustrating. So anyway, I'm looking forward to more today. What are we going to do? Likely explore the Altus Plateau a little more, because I definitely have not fully explored that thing by any means. We could go back to the mountain. Remember, I was exploring some of the mountain, but I definitely didn't finish it. We had found an optional dungeon there. I think it was called a mausoleum or a grave. It was either like a something grave or mausoleum. There's a whole, apparently it's an underground dungeon. People were like, oh, it's kind of tough. We could do that. Or we go all the way back to Volcano Manor, which is actually where we had started this region, and we could go from there. I guess that's also considered a legacy dungeon. I don't know. So I don't know. We'll see. Basically, I want to explore this whole northwestern part of the map. I don't want to get to the capital city yet. From what I'm going to understand, the capital city is supposed to come after all of that. So I want to do it in order. I don't want to be out of sequence and then, oh, well, you missed half the game, go back. And I go back and it ends up being just like it was with Limgrave, where everything's easy as shit because, I did the harder stuff first. So I'm trying to go in order, but it is what it is. And I hope that you will join me, for the fun. It should be a good stream. It should be a good solid 3 hours of gameplay, okay? And I'm excited for that, and I hope that you guys are too. Now, it's the only stream today. So what I would ask is the following. I'm going to ask you guys for a favor today. This is out of my usual comfort zone. I'm so used to being here double streams and kind of having pressure separated between streams for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually I have a first stream, a second stream. But today I'm only doing one stream. So if you want to support the channel and help me out, first of all, please engage the content today. Please like the stream that I'm streaming right now if you're watching and you're enjoying it. If you're watching this video on demand on YouTube, please give it a like. Please leave a comment, okay? When I'm playing Elden Ring, same thing. Please engage with that, because when you engage with the content, that's what lets this channel get seen by a wider audience and grow. And Elden Ring has been the game absolutely in the last month that has allowed DSPGaming to grow tremendously ever since its release, okay? But also, of course, if you can, please support the channel as much as you possibly can. Whether that means you'd like to maybe become a member or contribute with like a super chat or a super sticker or a tip, whatever it may be, all that will help. And there's only one stream today to do that during, okay? I don't have that second stream to kind of lean on and say, oh, well, there'll be more later tonight. Maybe if it's a slower stream, I can make up. No, I need to try to hit my goals today, if not exceed. Like, for example, I have goals in place for every stream that I do here on YouTube, right? I'm trying to raise $150 in tips. Now, in a lot of ways, that's a stretch goal. I'm not realistically expecting I'm going to raise $150 on every single stream that I do. That would be pretty ridiculous if I did, honestly. But in general, I like to at least hit 1 or 2 of the tips goals every stream, which is $50 or $100, respectively. And we get rewards in place for that. I put on Gunner glasses or a silly hat or whatever. But then usually I'm like, okay, well, That's how I did on the first stream, but now we got a second stream coming, and I can kind of make up if it was a slower stream or whatever. I don't have that today, okay? So, if you enjoy my content, you support my streams, you know I can't stream a second stream today, please support this particular stream as much as possible. It would be outstanding if we could exceed the goals today that I usually have in place to make up for the fact that there's no second stream. That would be tremendous. But obviously, I can't control the amount of support that I get. It is absolutely crowdfunding. It is willing on your behalf. If you like the content, by all means, please support it and understand that you're helping me out, that I know I can't stream as much this week as I would like. Okay? Fair enough. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, what are we going to do today? Let's talk a little bit about everything going on. Let's talk about the schedule, first of all, what you can expect for the next week, a little bit more about building up to the birthday bash on Wednesday of next week, and in general, the games that I'll be playing for the week. In reality, I do not have much to talk about this morning. I've been looking for game news and the like. There's a lot of rumors about stuff that's about to happen. Like, people are rumoring there's going to be a giant press event for Sony very soon, but it's not here yet. So without it being here, there's really not much to talk about. So we'll see what happens, okay? On this pre-stream, maybe I'll just open it up to Q&A and we'll have some fun conversation and the like, and we'll go from there. Alrighty then. Okay. So let's talk. First of all, today, what's going on? Elden Ring fun. I am excited for more Elden Ring. What I'm hoping is that there will be more unique content. I'll be honest with you guys at this point. I like the Legacy dungeons. Like when I did that Shadow Castle, I think that's what it was called, the Shadow Castle, wasn't it? I actually liked that, even though it was some challenging stuff in there and some annoying stuff in there, and it frustrated the shit out of me, and I raged like I tend to do when something happens that's beating me. I still liked it. I actually like that more than the open world stuff. Like, I feel the gimmick of the open world of Elden Ring works for like the first 20, 30 hours. When you're in Limgrave and you realize there's all this content around you, you get to Liurnia, wow, it's a lake and all these beautiful visuals. You get to Caelid, and you're like, whoa, this looks totally different. It's like demon area, you're like in hell over here. And then you get to Altus Plateau. It's kind of like, all right, well, I kind of saw stuff like this already. I mean, the difference is that in the distance you can see the city, right? You can see the capital city. But it's kind of the same kind of deal with not much variation. The mountain, I'll be honest, what is it called? Mount Caelid or something like that? No, what's it called? Mount what? Someone just said the name of it. And I keep forgetting the name of this mountain. Mount Gelmer. I don't know why I keep forgetting the name of it. Mount Gelmer. Mount Gelmer, I'll be honest, it's kind of boring. It just seems like a mountain with a bunch of troops on it and various random enemies just placed about. So far, besides the Falling Star Beast boss that I found that was optional, outside of that, there doesn't seem to be much interesting stuff on Mount Gelmer. I kind of went through it and meh. I don't even know if I've covered all of it or not. There might be more. Someone had actually said, oh, there's a hidden cave down near a bridge or whatever, and I didn't find it yet. I said, I'll go back later and look for it. Volcano Manor. People are telling me that Volcano Manor is, like, really good. Some people are telling me that Volcano Manor is actually their favorite Legacy-style dungeon in the entire game. So I'm actually looking forward to Volcano Manor. I don't know if we'll do that today or not. I guess it really depends on the exploration and where it takes us. So what I'm thinking is, there's a combination of really good stuff, but kind of not so good stuff coming up, because the open world formula works for a while, but then kind of wears out its welcome. You know what I'm saying? And I'm wondering, because I have no idea how much is left in the game. Besides, I know the capital city is coming, but I don't know if the capital city is the finale or if there's more. The map seems to have opened up to a giant area that I can't see yet, because it zoomed out, and like now there's an insanely huge northern portion of the map, and I'm looking at it like, Jesus, what could be up there? Who knows? No one's even really hinted at it yet in the game, past the capital city. So it's like, either the capital city is insanely ginormous, or there's something else coming up, and we don't know what yet, right? So anyway, I'm excited for this, obviously, but I am hoping that the game holds up, and now that we're 75 hours in, it doesn't basically stutter out, because the open world formula has been overused, and now every enemy is reused, every boss is reused, every location feels like the same. I hope not. I seriously hope not. Okay? I am still excited for it, and I'm excited because I know this is going to last probably another month. Like, no exaggeration. We've been playing this the entire month of March, and I'm 75 hours in. If the game really is like 120 plus hours, that means if I'm playing it every other day, it's going to be another month. Another month of Elden Ring. Okay? So I guess we'll see. And go from there. I'm excited for it. I'm not trying to tell you guys that, I'm falling out of interest with the game. That couldn't be further from the truth. I really do like Elden Ring a lot. But like I said, I am starting to notice patterns in the way the game is doing stuff, in particular with the open world and reusing assets. It's getting boring in a lot of ways in that regard. So I hope that's not the case for the rest of it. Okay? Okay. So Elden Ring today. And that's it. That's the stream. After I finish my Elden Ring stream today, I'm going to upload. I'm going to eat dinner with my wife, take a shower, and then jump in here for like 3+ hours tonight working on my tax stuff. Super fun, let me tell you guys. Oh, I can't wait. Tomorrow, Friday, we go back to full day of streaming. It's going to be another major session of Ghostwire Tokyo, paired with a nighttime stream of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Okay, that should be fun. I hope that you guys will join me for that. Another full day of new game streaming. On Saturday, we're doing exactly the same thing that we're doing today. It's going to be PreStream podcast, Elden Ring, and no light night stream, because I'm hoping, fingers crossed, between working on it all night tonight and then, the night on Saturday, that, 6 to 7 hours of freaking time working on these taxes is enough. I hope. There's no guarantee, but I hope, because I really don't want to have to keep taking that many streams away to do it. Okay? So then on Sunday, another major all-day stream of gaming. It'll be more Ghostwire Tokyo and Kirby. Okay? Then on Monday, my final streaming day of the week, it will be Elden Ring on the first stream, and if everything went according to plan, we'll have a stream of late night Skyrim on Monday night. I hope, because I want to play Skyrim. I only got to play it once in the last week, and I know people are like, man, what's going to happen if Phil can't play Skyrim? That sucks. We love his late night Skyrim streams. They're very chill. And I hear you. I don't want to go a whole week without Skyrim, but if I need the extra day to finish up with my tax stuff, I need it. Okay, so I'll let you know over the course of the weekend how it's going. I'll let you know finally when we come to a conclusion if I need another night or not to work on it. Okay, I'm off from streaming on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday of next week, it is the big 4-0. It is my official 40th birthday, and because of that, the special marathon event here on DSPGaming, where I'll be doing a wide variety of stuff, including games all day long, plus a live feasting with the king, plus a tasting of my birthday cake live. Okay, so excuse me. With that being said, there's a few things coming up that you guys are going to be involved in. First of all, I'm still trying to determine what exactly games I'll be playing during that marathon event. The options are as follows: Game Pass games that we've already previously played, or continuing on with the games that I have ongoing playthroughs with. So here's the pros and cons of each. If I play Game Pass games, we're likely going to be able to play some great games that are a good variety of stuff that we've already delved in, including Serious Sam 4, I Am Fish, One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, and likely I'll select like one more game out of there that will play those 4 games. Each game will be like an hour to an hour and a half on the stream. That's a good variety, and I'll be continuing on with stuff you guys have already seen and really like. Okay? The detriment to that is that's going to set me back on all my current playthroughs that I'm already backlogged on. You know what I'm saying? I'm already backlogged on everything I'm doing, and now I'm taking another day away from it. Okay? The other option is to just play all the games that I'm already playing and just get further in them. So, for example, Elden Ring, Late Night Skyrim. Of course, it won't be called Late Night Skyrim anymore. It'll be like, just Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and also, brain fart. Oh, Ghostwire Tokyo, of course. So we'll have a chunk of each during that marathon event, probably about an hour to an hour and a half. Now, the pros of that is that I will make progress in all the games that I'm currently playing, and I won't get backlogged. The cons of that is, well, yeah, it's kind of just more of what I've been doing, and it won't be anything special or out of the ordinary from the stuff that I've been doing on stream every day. So it's kind of like, it doesn't seem to me that there's going to be a definitive, this is the correct answer. You know what I'm saying? No matter what I do, some people will be happy, some people will not. So I'm weighing and balancing all of your feedback over the course of the week. And it's kind of been split. I've definitely had people arguing for one side or the other side. And then, of course, you got people who don't listen at all and say they want something completely different. I'm like, too bad. That's an option. We're either doing one or the other. So please continue to give me your feedback here on the streams, or if you want to leave comments on my videos on demand, or you want to tweet me, or you want to send me an email, whatever it is, give me your feedback. I'm still weighing and balancing this, and I will come to a conclusion on what I will be doing over the course of the weekend and probably let you know by like Sunday, Monday, what exactly we'll be doing for the birthday celebration on Wednesday. Okay? So that's number one. Okay? Now, number two, feasting with the king. Oh, yes. I know you guys like feasting with the king. I like feasting with the king. What is feasting with the king? Well, it's a special event. And during said event, I eat food. Wow, what a surprise. It's what feasting is. So anyway, what it is I order food that usually is something that I'm not used to eating. Something outside of my comfort zone of cuisine that maybe I don't have all the time. Something that maybe I'd only have for a special occasion or maybe I never have. And I order a variety of things off of the menu so that we can get a good variety of stuff to try out essentially for the first time, on stream. And it's cool because it's about an hour show. We test all these things. Sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's not so good. I'll give you some examples here. Mediterranean food, I ate falafel with hummus. It was the best combination of foods I think I might have ever experienced in my life. The two flavors together were insanely outstanding and just was like a symphony of flavor in my mouth. Robust, as people like to make fun of me for saying. Flip side of that, I tried Filipino food, and I did not like much of it. Now, it could have just been that it took forever to get here, and some of the fish and stuff that I ordered was cold. At the same time, not much of it had too much good flavor that I liked. So, it could go either way, and people like it either way because it's kind of an experiment, okay? So, the options available for this coming Feasting with the King are as follows. Thai food, Vietnamese food, and barbecue. Now, think about this for a second. Thai food. Noodle dishes like pad thai, fish dishes. One time, a very long time ago, I got a big fish at a Thai restaurant. I was like, how am I going to eat this? And I started eating it, and the scales and the fish just came right off the bone, melt in your mouth, delicious. I was like, it's so good. So Thai food can be really good, but also Thai food can be very spicy. Ooh, you got to be careful. Vietnamese food. I mean, everyone knows pho or pho, however you say it. It's their noodle soup. That's ridiculously good. Usually has tons of great ingredients in it. I absolutely love it. I've only had it like 2 or 3 times in my entire life, but every time I've had it, I thought it was outstanding. One thing I've never had from Vietnamese cuisine is banh mi. This is their gourmet sandwiches that they make, and they make them all different ways, but I've heard so many good things about banh mi that I'd love to try it. And then, of course, barbecue. Let's be honest here. Barbecue encompasses a ton of stuff. You could get barbecue chicken, barbecue ribs, different kinds of beef, brisket, pulled pork, stuff like that. There's a million kinds of barbecue that you can get. And of course, when you order barbecue food, one of the signature things about it is the sides they provide. Oh man, corn or creamed corn or corn on the cob or mac and cheese or beans or mashed potatoes, cornbread. Oh man, that is American comfort food at its finest, right? So I'm thinking of all these options in my head. I'm like, dude, I would love any of these. Seriously, like any of those 3 cuisines likely would end up being really good. So what's going to happen is, excuse me, you guys are going to be able to vote on what cuisine I'm going to try on my birthday celebration by voting on a poll that I'm going to post up on the community tab of DSPGaming in just a couple of days. In fact, I'm thinking I'll probably post it up either tomorrow or Saturday. And then you guys will have a couple days to vote and determine the cuisine so that Wednesday morning when the marathon starts, we can order together. Okay? Sound good? Cool. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. So all that being said, guys, it's going to be a special event coming up. I'm very excited for it. So I hope that you guys are pumped. And we'll have more information, as I said, as we get closer, the poll and everything. And I'll weigh and balance your feedback on the games, and we'll determine all that soon. Now, excuse me. Something else that's going to happen very shortly. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, this channel has seen some big growth in the last month to 2 months because of all the new releases that have come out, and I knew this would happen. I told you guys we're going to see more engagement. We're going to see higher views. We're going to see newcomers coming to the stream and subscribing for the first time, and that absolutely has happened. Per my stats that I check here on the YouTube app every day, and every day I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the analytics and everything, all right? This channel has been doing really good over the course of the last 1 to 2 months. Up, look at this, up, and same as usual. So when everything says up, same as usual, that's good. It either means you're maintaining that good course or you're getting better, right? I'm very pleased with how everything has gone over the last month, and you guys have been very supportive. The one area, okay, the one area that sadly things did not get better is the memberships. And I think everyone's going to agree there. We've seen these memberships go down and down, and there's not much I can do about that. I have tried my best to offer you guys different things in regards to the memberships. It seems like the only way that memberships really get popular on YouTube, as opposed to subscriptions on Twitch, where on Twitch they offer all these other benefits that you can't get with the memberships on YouTube. For example, when you subscribe to a channel on Twitch, you can use those emotes from that channel anywhere on Twitch, anyone else's channel. When you subscribe on Twitch, dependent on how long you've been a subscriber and the tier you subscribe, you can get exclusive emotes unlocked just for you. That kind of stuff is not available here on YouTube, okay? It's a similar product, but it's not equally comparable. Because of that, my memberships here are discounted. It's actually cheaper to become a member here on YouTube than it was charged over on Twitch, but there's not much else I can do, all right? It really seems to me that in regards to memberships on YouTube, YouTube catered them towards people who make on-demand content. So, an exclusive video series that you'll see early if you're a member, and then everyone else gets to see it 2 days later. But I don't do that. I'm doing on-demand video content of ongoing playthroughs. I'm a full-time streamer. I don't have opportunity to offer you guys that kind of a product, okay? So, in regards to this, for the month of April, I am going to do something outside of my comfort zone that I've never done before. And I'm going to offer you something as a reward if we hit a membership goal that is unprecedented. Okay? Seriously. This is something that never before has been done. It's been asked of me. I've never done it. And so, I'm curious how people will react, and I'm curious if this would be something that would give people incentive to become a member of DSP Gaming. And if this works, if this ends up being something that, we like this idea, maybe I'll keep doing it every month. Every month we'll have a member goal, try to grow the members, and we do another thing. We'll see. But I'm not revealing what it is until I'm ready. At the earliest, it will be tomorrow. And I'm thinking maybe tomorrow, PreStream podcast could be the big day where I do the reveal on what exactly it is. I'm thinking. But yes, I know I'm teasing you. Absolutely, I'm teasing you guys. Yeah, of course I'm teasing you guys. Why wouldn't I tease you? It's called anticipation. It's called suspense. It's called building interest. Because you're wondering, what could it be? What could it be? Is it going to be something good? Some of you probably won't care about it at all, and others will absolutely love it. Just like everything, right? That's how it is. You can only please all of the people some of the time. You can't please everyone all the time because everyone has different tastes and they're looking for different things. And I feel like I have reached the wall when it comes to memberships doing it a certain way. So now we're going to go in a different direction. It's that simple. Okay? Don't tell anyone about Logan Paul being on the stream tomorrow. All right? Don't spoil. All right? Anyway, I'm just kidding, of course. Anyway, so maybe tomorrow I'll reveal it. We'll see. I'll think about it because I actually have to make some preparations. But we'll see. And I'll see if I do my announcement or not starting tomorrow. We'll see. But anyway, since tomorrow is April 1st, wait, it is? It is. Tomorrow is April 1st, okay? Wait a minute, tomorrow's April Fool's. Ah, shit. I seriously didn't even think about this, that tomorrow's April Fool's. Oh, boy. Tomorrow's April Fool's. Anyway, all right, now I really got to think about this. Anyway, we'll see. But maybe tomorrow I will do the reveal of what this new goal will be, and we'll go from there. By the way, as I said yesterday, the goal will not change. The goal for the month of April will be to hit 400 members. Okay? That's not changing in any way, shape, or form. The difference here is that, I need to get this number back up. We were at 391. And then over the course of March, we lost like 50 members because I couldn't really offer any unique or interesting incentive because YouTube doesn't give me the tools to do so. That's disappointing. So anyway, I'll let you know as soon as I can. All right. Outside of that, guys, I'm just trying to think odds and ends wise here. Not much else. So to reiterate what I said at the beginning of the stream, we have a new animation today. If you tip between $20 all the way up to $49 in one go. Not only will I blow my horn, because I told you guys I will blow my birthday horn for every large contribution that I get during this week, but there's a new animation that will play on the stream, and that animation is Elden Ring related. So it'll be cool to see the Elden Ring animation. Now, warning, if you tip $50 or more, it's going to go to the next tier of animation. So I want to forewarn everyone, because if someone's, oh, I specifically want to see this new animation, you probably don't want to tip 50 or more, because then you're going to see a different one. Okay? Okay. All right. So let's do shout-outs. Let's just go right into shout-outs. We have time for it. Let's do it. Let's jump in here. So on the YouTube side of things, contributions start off today with OK, who did a super chat and says, hey, hope you're well, man. I'm wondering if you've been to Mount Gelmir yet in Elden Ring. We did. So here's how it happened. I entered the Altus Plateau, and immediately that NPC woman who I had met in Liurnia's Lake said, oh, we did that quest for me down there. Let's just take you right to Volcano Manor, and teleported me there. Now, I'm at Volcano Manor. I'm like, wait a minute. So I skipped the Altus Plateau, and there may even be stuff between Altus Plateau and Volcano Manor. So I left the manor, not knowing really what I was doing. I started riding down a road. I ended up finding a golden needle. Oh my god. I ended up finding a golden seed. I ended up finding the map for the area, and it ends up that it shows kind of Mount Gelmir. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started riding around and fighting things. I fought, instead of an Erdtree avatar, there's none, because the Erdtree is dead. So instead you're fighting this corrupted tree piece or whatever, which I fought like 17 times in this game already. It was another one. I just kept exploring. Eventually I got to this part. People were like, you gotta keep climbing, you'll find an optional boss, and I fought the Falling Star Beast. And that's really where Mount Gelmir ended for me, because then I was like, alright, let's go back to the Altus Plateau, which I had completely skipped. And that was basically last stream, where I explored Altus Plateau stuff. We went all the way north. Well, first we went to a lake, and we did stuff in a lake, and then we went far north, and then we went to the Shadow Castle and stuff like that. Or Shaded Castle. Is it either Shaded Castle or Shadow Castle? I keep getting it confused. So that was the last few streams, okay? So I've been to Gelmir, but I haven't thoroughly explored it. I spent maybe like an hour to an hour and a half in it, and then I kind of got distracted and left. So there you go. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. Zoya did a super chat, says, I'm Mario playing Kirby despite the unpopularity. Yeah, and you know, I knew every time I play a game like this, first party Nintendo, oh, that's one strike against it, because everyone says first party Nintendo games are kiddie games, all right? Chill stream, oh, no challenge, Phil's never going to die, we don't get to see Phil suffer and scream and rage, oh, don't want to see that. And then on top of that, a cutesy character in Kirby. It's like the trifecta of reasons why people who watch something like Elden Ring would not attend that stream. However, I am a variety streamer. And being a variety streamer, I enjoy playing a wide variety of games rather than the same style of game over and over. March was kind of an exception, where the daytime streams were primarily Elden Ring. Okay, but now I'm doing a good variety of stuff. I'm mixing in other kinds of games again. I'm really happy that Kirby has made the mix. Why? Because in my opinion, now I've been playing Kirby for about 3 streams. After 6 hours, I would say Kirby's, not only is it the best Kirby game I feel like I've ever played, and I haven't played all of them for sure. I played Epic Yarn, and I played Rainbow Curse. I know there was another one I played in there at one point, like Return to Dreamland or something like that. I think it's not only the best one that I've played, but it's basically the best platformer I've played in like 5 years. And I'm being honest, just played it for 6 hours. I like the game better than Ratchet and Clank from last year already. It's less repetitive. Ratchet and Clank, within the first few hours, it's the same shit over and over. This game, it's different. There's different puzzles, different abilities. You're leveling them up. You're fighting unique bosses, different locations. Ratchet and Clank got boring after a few hours. It's the same shit. Just shoot everything, right? So I'm happy that it's actually more variety. Yeah, see, Joshua says, what about Psychonauts? I would say Psychonauts 2, Kirby, and the Forgotten Land are the 2 best platformers of like the last 5+ years, by far. They've beaten everything. And maybe Super Mario Odyssey is up there too. Those 3, that's it. Like anything else that came out, they don't even hold a candle to these games. And I'm happy to be playing a game of this. I can't believe the quality of the game. The music, in this kind of music in a Kirby game is like, what happened? How'd they get the budget for this? Because the music's ridiculously good. Like, wow, the music's like over the top, crazy, catchy, and interesting and fun. Like I said, the only downfall of this game is quite literally, it's on the Nintendo Switch. If it wasn't on the Nintendo Switch, it would probably be like beautiful, and that's the problem. It's not. The graphics are good, but man, the frame rate chops up frequently because it's on the Switch, and you just wish that they could have done more with the visual fidelity, lighting, and everything. It's very limited because it's on the Switch. Outside of that, though, very entertaining. And I'm happy that you guys who are attending the Kirby streams are having a good time and supporting the streams. Although, I'll be honest, last night, it's basically one guy at this point supporting the Kirby streams at night. All right? So I got to say this. I don't feel good about that person possibly feeling pressured to support those streams all the time, and he shouldn't feel that way. So you guys, if you like the Kirby stuff, please support it. Whether you're watching it on demand or you happen to be on the streams, please find a way to support the Kirby stream so that way the variety makes sense. I feel bad that he got one guy and he's sitting there and, you know, basically tipping all night and everyone else is kind of enjoying, you know. It would be great if we get some other people coming on the late streams and supporting them, if possible. And again, I'm not pressuring anyone. I'm saying if you actually like it, because I see people literally in the chat right now saying, we're having a great time with the Kirby playthrough. Please support it. And by the way, if you're watching on demand, you don't have to do a live stream tip. You could pledge to my Patreon. You could do an offline tip. The tips still work even when the stream's offline. And you could even say specifically in the tip, this is to support the Kirby stream, Phil. Here you go. Okay? Thank you. But anyway, yeah, I love Kirby. I think it's an outstanding game. And even though, yeah, when I play it, I get like 200 people, if that. And yes, the support is slow. I'm going to keep playing it. I love it. I'm not going to give up on a game because, you know, it's not getting that overwhelmingly mainstream popularity or anything like that. Okay? Okay. So yeah, also did another super chat and says, what night will you be off for birthday, dinner, day out? Tuesday. Tuesday I have the day off with my wife, and we're going to spend it together. And then the next week, we may do something for our anniversary, because our anniversary is only a few days after my birthday. And we're not going to be able to get that specific day off. But maybe whenever our next day off is, Monday or Tuesday the next week, we're going to probably do something for our anniversary. So, Review Tech USA is here. He did a $10 super chat. He says, I'm getting brutally fisted in Elden Ring, but I love the game, and that's something I never expected. Well, I mean, there's different ways to play the game. I don't know if playing your ass first is really the best approach. Maybe for some, because it depends on, you know, your armor stats or whatever. But, no, I hear what you're saying. And I think that a lot of people, this has been their reaction to the game, is that it's incredibly difficult, but because the game is open world and you can go around and do so many different things, you're not stuck doing one thing and hitting the wall, which is how it always was in FromSoft games. Well, I got to this boss, I can't beat it, I guess I'm done. And that's not the approach in Elden Ring. In Elden Ring, oh, I can't beat it, I'll leave, I'll go do a bunch of other stuff, and come back later when I'm leveled up more, maybe I'll be able to tackle this boss or this challenge now, right? Although it's funny, the game's now been out over a month, and the social media posts about it have kind of dried up. At one point, everyone talked about Murgit and Godric the Grafted, and then it was about, oh, Renala, and then a lot of people freaked out about Radon, and then all of a sudden, crickets. And I got a feeling I know why. People can't keep going. They're dead. They can't keep going. They've hit the wall. When you know, 12 million people bought this game. Out of the 12 million people who bought the game, how many are actually going to beat it? It's a good question. How many people are going to hit that wall and be like, I can't take it, man. I just can't take it. Oh, by the way, here's the new animation. There's the new tip animation for $20 or more, between $20 and $49. There you go. The Elden Ring group pose thank you animation. Very nice. But anyway, that's the point I'm making is, I think what happened is most people who were more casual players who never really played FromSoft before, or maybe they did and they got beaten by other games like Sekiro and the like, they've jumped into this one, all right, and they can't get any further. So they were part of that whole feeling of, oh, I'm part of a big cultural event in gaming, and now they're like, well, shit. Well, at least I was part of it for a month, but I guess I'm not getting any further. You know? What I'm happy to hear is that it sounds like you are still making progress, Rich, and as long as you're enjoying yourself, that's the thing. This game, by someone who knows what they're doing, is about 120 hours long, if you explore everything. If you don't know what you're doing and it's your first major Souls game, I can imagine this game taking hundreds and hundreds of hours because you're going to be grinding to level and do stuff, and you're going to die a lot, right? So, if you approach it like that, this is a game that you're going to play over the course of months and months, probably going to be an interesting experience. I'm curious to hear your experience another month in, you know, and see if you still like it as much. Anyway, thank you, Rich, for the super chat. Okay did another super chat. It says Mexican food, birria tacos. We already did Mexican food last time around, incidentally. That was in January. Or was it early February? I think it might have been like the first week of February. And we did a lot of different things. We did carne asada. We actually did this unique thing. I forgot what the name of it is, so forgive me. But it was this pepper that was stuffed, battered, and fried, and then covered in sauce and cheese. I had never had anything like that before in my life. I thought it was pretty good. I actually wished it was a little bit more spicy. But it was unique. It was something different. That's the thing. When I get this stuff, I try to do things in a unique way. Here's something I've never had before. I'm trying it for the first time, so I give you my honest feedback on what I think about it. So, but yeah, we already did Mexican food. Snow Cooper did a super chat. He says, I've been a fan for a while. I feel like you aren't playing Halo Ranked because I keep on asking. Come on, get railed here. Getting railed here. Snow Cooper, I haven't played Halo in about 2 months. As I told you, Halo Infinite got incredibly boring for me because there was nothing else to do in the game. I had basically played every map, right? Was doing good on every map. Every time I was playing, I was doing pretty darn good. The ranked gameplay was the worst. And in fact, there's a consensus on the internet at one point. The ranked gameplay was the worst in the game because so few people were playing ranked that you would search and find people who have bad connections to you and you were forced to play against them. So you were playing in lag. Everything in ranked had bad hit detection and delay because so few people were playing that mode. It's supposed to be the epitome of the game, the highest skill level, and it was the worst scrubby gameplay because everything was so lagged out. So then everyone went to the casual modes, and the casual modes got boring because there's nothing to do in them. It's the same gameplay. They're not adding anything new. Here we are. We're about to hit April. They're claiming Season 2 will not even happen till May. The game is dead. People are trying to play it right now, and they can't find anyone to play outside of big team battles. They can't even find a match. Someone said, yeah, Team Fiesta, I'm trying to earn the armor pieces. I literally sit there for 20 minutes before I find a match. Like, this is atrociously bad. What happened to the #1 ranked FPS game? It tanked. They destroyed it. They literally did. They had the #1 game in the world for first-person shooters, and they botched it by not putting out content for it. Again, I almost feel like this is going to end up being a documentary a few years down the line. The saga of Halo Infinite. How the launch was botched. How the game was botched when it was popular. Seriously, I would love to hear what's going on behind the scenes over at 343 Industries and what's going on that they cannot make this game new content in a timely manner. No one likes it anymore. Everyone's moved on. So there you go. So thank you. So Snow Cooper is the latest super chatter. Let's get Snow Cooper on the leaderboard, then we'll head over to the tip side of things. And there goes the decoration thing. Smashed it right to the floor. Good thing it's durable. Okay, so that is the YouTube side of contributions. Let's flop over to the tips. And we start off today with some tips from Slayer again. Slayer's going to update us on his progress in Elden Ring. Okay, it's like having a plant in your hand. Excuse me. So Slayer, tipped $1.50, he says, here's an update on Elden Ring. I finished the whole southern part of Limgrave. Good. There's a lot of valuable items there, like all those sacred tears and stuff. You need those. They're very important. I defeated the Erdtree Avatar and the Morn Castle. Good. That's also good. A good starter weapon, depending on your build, could be that weapon you get at Morn Castle, the giant sword that looks like it's a bunch of other swords combined, kind of like the Game of Thrones throne. But if I remember correctly, you said that you were trying to do a build for the Golden Halberd, right? I mean, that is strength. It's strength and faith. Anyway, defeated the Crucible Knight within an hour. Wow, well, congratulations to you. You kicked its ass. Then I took 2+ hours, and I couldn't beat him with my current build at that time. Okay, another tip from Slayer says, I used the Bloodhound Sword. Oh, I actually did use the Bloodhound Sword early on in my playthrough as well. Great bleed damage. He says, I defeated the Crucible Knight with it. Once you learn his pattern, it's not that hard to defeat him. I'm currently at level 35 and 2 levels in faith from using the Golden Halberd. I'm currently about to explore East Limgrave. All right, so good on you, I almost said Snow Cooper. Slayer. So just so you know, once you get the Golden Halberd, basically your gameplay style will change because the Golden Halberd is very different from using a sword, and it does very big holy damage. Its buff ability is quite good to use in combat, and man, its jumping heavy attack is ridiculously good. However, Later in the game, there will be much better weapons that have a faith build. I can tell you that because I'm using a couple of them right now that are really good. And I think that the Golden Halberd is probably not as good anymore because I found these other weapons. But the Golden Halberd, I used it for a while, so I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, thank you, Slayer, for the tips and the update on your progress. Philip's Smelly Chair, great name. Philip's Smelly Chair, he's back. Tipped me $2 and says, you're thinking about the game wrong. No reason to explore everything before doing new areas. Yes, there is. It's called playing the game. I don't understand this weird mentality. Oh, another $20 tip. Look at that. The animation again. Thank you to Dan the Man for that one. We're doing all the shout outs for tips right now. So anyway, I don't understand this weird mentality of people who are saying, if you explore everything in the game, you're over leveled, therefore you should not do that. So let me get this straight. You should pay for the game and purposely skip content that was put into the game by the game developers to be played. Skip it purposefully so that you can add challenge to your playthrough. I want you to think about this for a second, right? That's like saying, if you were playing Super Mario... Let's imagine that Super Mario Brothers, everyone knows that game, right? The game has warp zones where you can skip entire levels, correct? Correct. Does the game have a leveling system like Elden Ring does? No, it does not. Imagine that it did. Imagine that if you played every level in Super Mario Brothers from start to finish, you gain experience points. Mario has higher jumps, runs faster, better fireballs, right? If you play through the game. So if you play every stage from start to finish, by the end of the game, you've got a build. So when you get to the final challenge of the final dungeon and the final Bowser, it's not as difficult if you've played all the content of the game. Now imagine if that game doesn't have any of that leveling system, which is exactly how it is today, all right? And you can skip all around. You can warp all around the game, right? Okay, great. But if you warp right to the end of the game, guess what? You're a weakling. Now it's hard as shit to beat because you got to jump over the fire. You don't have fireballs to throw at Bowser. You don't have anything. You're basically a little wimpy dude, and you're trying to rush through the game and beat it as quick as possible by either exploits or maybe just being very nimble, right? Am I saying that either way to play the game is wrong? No, I'm not actually. In fact, I would argue that either way is correct. It's up to you to determine how you want to play the game. But it's not up to you to determine how others should play the game. It is a single-player game. Understand? Single player, not multiplayer, not competitive experience. When people are playing Elden Ring, they're not saying, well, my run is going to be the absolute best run ever on the internet, ultra challenge, super entertaining, and all of that, all right? Allow me to give you a little bit of elaboration on that, all right? I have watched 3 separate people playing through Elden Ring, okay? 3. Out of those 3 people who are playing Elden Ring, all of which are popular content creators, not a single one of them has had their viewing audience tell them, you're playing it wrong and this is boring. And one of them, actually, I'll tell you, I think the playthrough is fucking boring. The person has basically been using the same weapon since the start and hasn't mixed it up. They're using exactly the same gameplay style the entire game to beat every boss and every challenge, and none of their viewing audience is complaining. They're okay with it. Because they understand this is your first original run. You play it how you want. In future challenge runs, if that's what you want, then you can have these criteria of, oh, don't do all the content. Rush through with this particular build or this weapon. Challenge yourself. No one is having this kind of problem where everyone is going to complain and whine at them. You want to know who's having the problem? Me. You want to know why? Because I have a toxic group of viewers, not all of them, but there's a toxic group of viewers who come to my content when they watch me play challenging games, and they just want to see me fail. I don't care about you. Sorry, I don't. You guys, to be very honest with you, don't support or contribute this channel in any way, shape, or form. You only come around when I'm going to play a game where you know I'm going to lose a lot, and all you do is make fun of me, and then you go to detractor channels and you watch the montages of fails. I don't care about you. You mean nothing to me. I'm here to entertain a positive audience. I'm here to have a genuine first-time experience with Elden Ring. And if you don't like it, I don't care. Because I'm not here to cater to your every whim, these little whiny, self-entitled people on the internet who demand things. I'm not here for you. I'm not. And I never was. And I never will be. You're welcome if you want to be here and watch me play the game like everybody else. But don't think I'm going to change my approach and my enjoyment of the game because you want to see me suffer. This game has a ridiculous amount of content in it. And I'm going to enjoy it. I paid for the fucking game. Why shouldn't I enjoy the game? Right? Is it my fault that From Software chose to put a ridiculous amount of content mid-game, including Altus Plateau, Mount Gelmid, is it Gelmid? Gelmer? Mount Gelmer, Volcano Manor, all before the capital? If it was the case that they wanted it to be difficult all through, you should have went Limgrave, Liurnia, Capital. That would have been fucking tough. Seriously. But instead, they put Caelid, they put all the underground secret areas, the wells, the hidden cities, the Rot Lake, all that shit. Then they put in Mount Gelmer, the Volcano Manor. It's all in there for a reason. To enjoy the content of the game. If you're naturally playing through all the content of the game and you end up being over-leveled for late game, I didn't make it. Go complain to the people whose butts you suck constantly and say, hey, you guys screwed up. This game should scale. This game shouldn't have set levels for the enemies. It should scale so when you approach a new area, everything's kind of a challenge. Not, oh, I played your side content or your other content and now everything's meaningless because I'm level 700 by the time that I reach a part that I'm supposed to be level 100 for. I didn't make the game. If you don't like it, go complain to From Software and stop bitching to me. I don't care. Thank you. Now, Philip Smelly Chair did another $2 tip and says, for context, you're already near the level people say you should beat the story at before it becomes too easy. I'm not trying to be one of those people complaining about how strong you are, but there's a point where you're going to turn every boss into your Radon. Well, guess what? I didn't make the fucking game. If you have an issue with the way the game was designed, go complain to From Software. I can't make the game not have that issue. But I'm going to enjoy all the content of the game because I fucking paid for it. How can I even legitimately rate this game if I purposely skip half the content to make it challenging? That doesn't even make sense. So I rate the game, but I don't even know what half of it is because I rushed through it. It's not even a logical suggestion. It's something stupid. It really is. If, again, you want to see the Ultra Challenge, go watch the speedrunners. Go watch the level 1 build players. Go watch the people who say, I'm going to dual wield torches for the whole game. Then you can go see that level of challenge. That's not even the core demographic of the game this time around. Why do you think they made it open world? Why do you think they put this much content in it? So that it's accessible to everyone, not just speedrunners, not just challenge runners. People can enjoy it in that way, but that's not how the game was designed. If you have a problem with it, complain to the people who made it, not the people playing it. You're at the wrong place. Okay. Jad F, excuse me. Timmy $1.50 and says, couple of news. Warhammer 40k Darktide, a sci-fi version of Vermintide, releases the 13th of September. And Weird West by Arcane Studios released to good reviews. You have it in Game Pass. Lasty System Shock 1 remake is done, soon to be released. Okay. Out of all of that, I don't know what Wild West is, nor do I care. Is it Weird West? I don't know. Never heard of it. I don't really play Warhammer games. The Vermintide game that I played I thought was okay. And said maybe I would go back to it someday, but there doesn't seem to be interest. No one's really asked for it. Maybe System Shock 1 I'd be interested in. I never played the System Shock series, and that's always been a series I've heard about, that people have really loved it over the years, way back when it was popular, in the 90s or whatever. So maybe I would play that. So thank you for that little bit of info. Lord Shiogarath has tipped me $12.83. I don't know what the significance of that specific amount is. But he says, what's your middle name? Reminding you about you-know-what. Paul. My middle name is Paul. And in regards to you-know-what, we've already talked about it. And the way I said it was, the more you bring it up, the less likely anything is to happen. So stop bringing it up. Okay. Kirby Naught has tipped me $25 and says, this is specifically to support only your Kirby streams. Don't you dare count this towards the stream tips goal. I mean, if you're really serious about that, I won't count it towards the stream tips goal. But I appreciate that towards the Kirby stream, because the Kirby streams absolutely need support. They do. So thank you for that very much. I've actually been asked not to count this towards the stream tips goal, so I guess I won't. But thank you to Kirby. Now it was a $25 tip. I appreciate that. Okay. Alice Telemon is here today. He tipped $1.50, and he says, I'm a level 90 mage. I'm loving this build. I started playing because of you. The only thing is that I'm having trouble keeping track of the side quest missions. There's so much that I feel no matter what I do, I'm missing out. With a game like this, and this is no exaggeration, all right? No exaggeration. You absolutely should be using a guide for the side content. You should. You shouldn't rely that you're going to just naturally find it all. It's absolutely ridiculous in these games. It's insanely cryptic. 9 times out of 10, you will not be able to track down the quest line. I already know that I missed 2 different quest lines because, like I said, I've been watching other people play it, and other people ran into these quest lines that I didn't. And I was like, oh, shit, those 2 quest lines I totally missed. Now, the good news is, usually they didn't give me anything. One quest line was a sorcery item, and another quest line was for a guy who I guess later on ended up dead anyway in my playthrough and didn't matter. So it's not a huge deal that I missed the quest line. Still, would have been nice to do all the quests, right? So I would absolutely recommend, if you are trying to do all the quest lines, use a guide. I don't need that. I'm lucky enough to have an interactive audience, and that audience talks with me during every stream and says, hey, Phil, here's where you go for this quest or that quest. So I'm able to follow along because my audience helps me. But not everyone is an interactive streamer who has that kind of an asset, and I appreciate those who do help me with that stuff. So thank you to those who have been helping, and I will absolutely tell you guys, if you're playing Elden Ring, don't feel like, oh, I can't use a guide or that's ridiculous. You should be getting all the content out of the game. The game is so cryptic. Don't miss out on big critical things, okay? Dan the Man is to be $20. Says, hey, Phil, what's going on, Dan? So since that Kirby tip is absolutely only for the Kirby streams, Dan the Man is now considered the top tipper of this stream. Shit. With that $20 tip, thank you, Dan the Man. Very good. Thank you very much. And we saw the new, you guys saw the new Elden Ring animation now, right? It's basically Elden Ring kind of Ginyu Force. It's kind of funny. 672 has tipped me $6.72. He says, happy hustle day. And rest in peace to the Los Angeles rapper Nipsey Hussle, who tragically lost his life 3 years ago today. Hashtag the matathon continues. I am completely uninformed on that situation, but I do thank you for the tip. And I guess, yes, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Anso Kamaru has tipped me $1.50. Says, personally, I put Elden Ring on hold. I got bored and burnt out after 70 hours. It's so samey and way too long. I'm having way more fun with other releases from February and March. Currently hooked on Ghostwire. It wasn't that Elden Ring is too hard. It's just dull. And like I told you guys, I kind of feel like that's sadly where I'm starting to get right now in the game. Like, when I'm in a new area, oh, a whole new area. It kind of looks like the same as Limgrave did. It's not that much different. The enemies are kind of not original and kind of boring. Oh, look, an optional castle that looks really cool. Oh, the boss is the same fucking guy I already fought twice. Like, it does. It deflates you because you're expecting something new or original right around the corner. And I'm at the point where it looks like there's nothing new or original anymore. That they've just ran out of ideas and just said, recycle, 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 recycle. I hope that's not the case. People are actually telling me Volcano Manor is really good. So I'm kind of like, ooh, I'm anticipating this Volcano Manor when I finally do it. I hope that they're telling the truth. So, okay. Shout out to Parzival, who did a $4.20 tip and says, what do you call a pencil with 2 erasers? Pointless. We got a nice pun. Thank you for that little joke there. Appreciate that. Parzival. So that's going to get us up to $51 in tips, which means we have hit our Tier 1 goal for today. Which means, indeed, it is Gunnar Glass's time. And I appreciate that. Here we go. Swaggin says, Elden Ring is actually much more like The Witcher 3 or Skyrim. That there's entire areas that just seem pointless, but they're there if you want to do them for content's sake. There you go. As they say, quantity over quality, right? I mean, that's what it seems like to me. All right. So now we swing back to the YouTube side of things again. What the hell did I clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. There we go. The Addict Gamer has done a super chat. Says, go next in Kaled to the big pot. You get more carry weight. Okay, you've been telling me about this for like 2 streams. I think what Addict Gamer is saying, if you guys remember back in Caelid, when I first popped out of the well, remember the first time I went to the well from from East Limgrave, I did the underground cave that had the stars on the ceiling, and there's an elevator that you pop out of on the other side, and it pops you into Caelid, but it puts you into this very unique canyon. You're lower down in this canyon, and you can't get out of the canyon. There's no way out. You're kind of stuck in there. And so if you follow the canyon all the way, okay, you end up at a coliseum, and there's a bunch of giant statue guys with the arrows, but there's a humongous pot there. Now, when I arrived, those guys were doing crazy archery to me, and I was kind of there early. I wasn't really of a good level to fight them. So I basically rode around, explored. Okay, I don't know what's here. I'm out of here. And I left. So people have been telling me ever since then, this was like a month ago, right? Is that if I had killed those statue guys so they would stop sniping me, and I had talked to the pot guy, he would have given me a quest line where I guess it's a challenge run. It's like a 3 red invaders. They're not really invaders, you know, they're NPCs, the red ones. And if you can beat a gauntlet of 3 of them in a row, you get a reward. That's all I know. That's all anyone ever told me. But I never actually went back to do it. Maybe I could go do that today, because if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember where we ended last stream, and I'm pretty sure that we're not in the middle of anything, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that we could just go over there now if we wanted to. There is a point of grace there, and maybe go over there and just fuck around, kill the giants, because now I could probably kill the giants fairly easily, and then maybe go talk to the pot guy and see what happens, right? We could. It's just more exploration to do. It shouldn't take too long. It's not a long path or anything. If you guys want me to do that, we could check that out today and just see what it is, right? So, all right, fair enough. Thank you to the Addict Gamer for the super chat and the suggestion. Maybe we'll do that. Lord Shiagaroth, I did not miss a tip. I shouted out your tip, if that's what you're talking about. Here's who tipped today: Slayer, Philip Smelly Chair, Jad F, Lord Shiagaroth, Kirby Knot, Atlas Telemon, Dan the Man, 672, Anso Kamaru, Parsville. Oh, wait! A ton more. Wow. A ton more tips. There's a ton more tips. Let's continue. 12 Ratchet tipped me $10. Says, happy birthday, Phil. I hope you have an awesome day. Which class do you think I should use in Elden Ring? I've done many playthroughs so far. I can't decide which class to use. Oh, man. Who knows? There's so many different classes you can use in this game. From what I'm going to understand, a lot of them are quite viable. You know, one thing that I think I want to do is a magic build. Right now I'm doing this strength faith hybrid build, but it's really melee mostly. I mean, yes, do I have lightning bolts? Can I use healing magic to stop status effects? Yes. But for the most part, if you haven't noticed, I'm using mostly melee attacks. I think if I do a second run of this game eventually, I want to do a magic build of some sort. Like, I would like to be tossing around ginormously damaging magic spells, because I feel like it'll be challenging because I'm going to have to avoid all the enemies while I'm casting said spells, and I won't be able to be, like, constantly rolling through, because the casts take a while, right? So you have to find your openings to do the castings and stuff. I think that could be pretty interesting. So I think I want to try that out as a second run. But outside of that, like, I've actually also heard that in regards to the bleed builds in the game, the dexterity / bleeding is ridiculously powerful in this game. And there's people who just get like a katana and they load up a build that's all bleed damage, and they just hit, oh, bleed, and now they bleed everything, including big bosses die that way. So give it a look, I guess. But I don't know. I'm just going off of things that are telling me, because I personally have only played this one build so far. Okay. Xi Jinping tipped me $1.50. Says, a 7th secret ending has just been found. It has a spooky 5 fingers. I have no idea what that means. But thank you very much for the tip, regardless. Okay. Uzi Gohard tipped me $1.50. He says, hey everyone, it's PP Burnell. Ha ha ha. Everyone point and laugh at PP Burnell. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I know. When I was a kid, people actually made fun of me for that. They did. Because they're stupid. Anyway, Fisting My Sister tipped me $1.50. No, that's not me saying that I don't have a sister, but that's the guy's name. He says, just so you know, I've been here since 2011. You're not even halfway through Elden Ring. You still have 50 hours ahead of you. All these years, you've been really entertaining and awesome. You're the man. You're inspirational. Thank you. That's a very nice thing to say. You have a terrible name, but that's a very nice thing to say, and I appreciate. I'm seeing a pattern here. I appreciate that. very much. It's funny because he says, "Oh, you're only halfway through. You have 50 hours left. You do realize that I have a 75 hours into the playthrough, right?" And you say I'm not halfway through, so that technically means I have like 80 hours left, which means I'm probably not even beating it in April because I'm balancing it with other games now. If it is that long, I mean, holy shit. I just hope that it's, like I said, I hope it's unique content. I hope it's not all reused content. Atlas Telebon did me another $2 tip, and he says, "Did you think that GTA 6, Breath of the Wild 2, and Street Fighter 6 will push your channel to new record heights? I hope the Elden Ring momentum continues." I mean, I'll be honest with you, the Elden Ring momentum already is slowed. It was about a month. I knew for a month this channel would kind of get a lot of attention because of Elden Ring, but I also knew that it would die out as soon as either the Elden Ring hype died out or I stopped playing it constantly, and that both of those things have basically happened right now. But I'm pleased with the momentum that I got. Now, you're right. There seem to be certain games that when I play them, I do get momentum. Grand Theft Auto, absolutely. You saw, I played the Grand Theft Auto collection. Immediately, we had people coming to the stream who hadn't been here for a while, who were enjoying the content. It's crazy how GTA brings butts to seats when it comes to my streams and my content. Street Fighter, I would say, no matter what, when Street Fighter 6 first comes out, yes. But it's going to depend on how good the game is and how much I like it and how good I get at it. If I play the game and I think it sucks within a week, no one's going to care about it after that. They're not going to want to see me play it anymore. But if I play it and I like it and I get pretty good at it, maybe we'll actually have some people coming back consistently for fighting game content for the first time in a long time. I don't know. But it's been a very long time since I put out consistent fighting game coverage of any new game. And, you know, I do my retro stuff, but I feel like the retro stuff I do every week is more for a different audience. You know what I mean? As for Breath of the Wild 2, to be honest here, I don't think that Breath of the Wild 2 would be a big deal for me. I don't think there's ever been a situation where there was a big Nintendo game that I played that got a ton of attention. And I'm talking even back in the day, the original Skyward Sword playthrough, new Mario games, all the stuff I used to do even when I was more popular. For some odd reason, when it comes to Nintendo, there seem to be like a select few content creators that everyone seems to go after. You know what I mean? Like there's like 10 people on YouTube/Twitch who play Nintendo games that everyone likes to watch their playthroughs. And outside of that, it's actually pretty darn hard to get attention to play a Nintendo game. I love the Nintendo first party games. I play them. I enjoy them. I would say that one exception was, what was the one? Metroid Dread. That one did pretty good in regards to a core audience. Did it appeal to a mainstream audience? No. But there was a core audience of people who really wanted to see me play it and absolutely enjoyed when I did. Outside of that, though, I don't get mainstream attention for Nintendo games ever. Zelda, Mario, Metroid, you know, big first party ones. You know what I mean? It basically becomes like more chill stream niche playthroughs. So no, being honest, I don't think so. I don't think Zelda would be a big deal for me. But GTA, absolutely. Doesn't even matter what GTA it is. If I play GTA, people get excited. Maybe Street Fighter 6 would have that impact, at least for a little bit, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have finished shoutouts. No, we have not. Alice Telemon tipped me another $1.50. He says, "Did you ever play Max in tournaments to interact back in the day?" No, I never heard of Max. If you're talking about Maximilian Dude, I never heard about him until he was a content creator on YouTube. I very well may have played him in a tournament or run into him, but I had no idea who he was. I don't think that he was notable or we hung in the same circles. Like, I was heavily into competitive Street Fighter, and for what I don't understand, back in the day, he was, like, into a Killer Instinct and stuff like that. Not to say he didn't play Street Fighter, but I think he was into other things, other circles, known in other circles, while I was heavy into just competitive Street Fighter. But no, never. I never had any interaction with him or nothing, you know. And just a very, very cursory interaction. I think the only direct interaction I ever had with Max, there were two. One time, when the Marvel vs. Capcom collection came out, and I can't remember what it was called. It was like MVC Origins collection or something like that. This is over 10 years ago. This was when I used to actually play games offline. What I would do is at night, as I was finishing uploads, sometimes I would jump online and have a drink, like a rum and coke, and I would play some games online. And I was playing MVC1 online, randomly drinking, and I was basically playing like shit because I was drinking. And I played against Max, and we had, honestly, I was impressed at how well I played because I was definitely drunk when I played him. but I was playing pretty good. But he was using Strider, and Strider is my fucking bane in that game. Like, I, to this day, still probably can't beat a god tier Strider because Strider is absolutely the best character in that game. And we had really good close matches to the point where we gave each other props for it. But I guess Max recorded the matches and uploaded them, and I didn't realize that. And then people after the fact were like, "Hey, Phil, did you know you played another YouTuber in the game last night?" I was like, "No, I wasn't. I had no idea who he was. I wasn't paying any attention to that." But he had given me props in his matchup of footage. He had actually complimented me in the matches, and I was like, "Damn, I kind of wish that I wasn't drinking. If I had known that I was going to play a good player, I kind of wish that I hadn't hampered myself." But again, it was just fuck around for me. I wasn't recording it or anything for YouTube. That was the one gameplay interaction I ever had with him. And then the only other interaction I ever had was a couple of years later. Max had sent me a DM on YouTube. And if I remember correctly, it was in regards to like getting a managed partnership on YouTube or something to do with a partnership that he currently had. And he needed some help with it because I had been on YouTube longer than him and knew more about getting a partnership with a company like Machinima or another partner network. And he had asked for a little bit of advice, and I tried to help him out as best I could at that time. And that was literally the only interaction I've ever had with the guy. Outside of that, people mention him, and I always do my best to try to compliment him because in my eyes, from what I know about Max, he seems like a genuinely true guy. And what I mean by that is this is not a guy who got into content creation to make a buck. This is a guy who got into content creation because he loved what he was doing. He had a passion for the games that he covers. He made creative series that showed that passion. Like his Assist Me series for Marvel vs. Capcom 3 back in the day showed that he absolutely loved fighting games, loved the lore of the characters in the game, and he wanted to make something funny on the internet to just tie in with that. Did he actually intend that it would blow up and he become this super popular content creator because of it? No. But he did, and he gets rewarded for that, and that's exactly the kind of content creation that I like. Someone who has a passion for what they're doing, and because of that, they become popular. Not someone who got into it to make money, someone who does drama videos every fucking day and tears everyone down around them. Max is a very positive personality on the internet, and I strongly recommend if you're looking for someone who's heavily into fighting game stuff, way more than I am, he's a really good guy to check out, in my opinion. You could disagree. Some people apparently have issue with Max because he got very popular for fighting game videos when he wasn't necessarily a top player. So I'll give you an example. If Justin Wong got hyper popular on the internet, or if Daigo gets hyper popular on the internet, or Tokido, or any top player in a fighting game, okay, that seems justifiable in the eyes of the FGC. But just because Max wasn't necessarily one of the top 10 players in the games he was playing or covering, oh, how dare he deserve his popularity? Why dare he get sponsorship opportunities and things offered from companies? Because he's popular, because he's entertaining, because he's intelligent. He doesn't have to be the best player on the planet to put out quality content, and he gets rewarded for that, for his hard work. But a lot of people in the FGC get jealous. They get very jealous at success, and they get jealous at his success. They were very jealous at my success 10 years ago when my videos were outperforming top players' videos. That's ridiculous. This guy, from everything I've seen, and again, I don't know Max personally. I only know him from interactions I've seen on the internet and the content he puts out. The guy puts out very passionate, very positive, and very good content. That's worth checking out. Probably one of the few guys that I can recommend. There you go. Philip's smelly chair to me $2 is sorry, I wasn't blaming you or complaining. I'm giving you a heads up for you to consider. You hate how easily they made Radon and was using that example. You're going to say the same about all remaining bosses at this rate. You're right, it's FromSoft's fault, but it can be minimized, but it's your choice. I don't want to skip the content of the game. I just don't. I want to see what's in the game. I paid for it, and I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to myself and my viewers. I keep knocking this thing. I'd be doing a disservice to myself and my viewers if I didn't actually see the content of Elden Ring just to make it harder. Okay? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the pre-stream. Let us end the pre-stream. Let us get started with Elden Ring, shall we? I have to close my blinds because now, once again, the sun has come out fully. Oh, boy. Can't see. I can't even see my TV right now because of the sun. But anyway, thank you guys. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's get started. Very nice.